Another late night love reading. This is Thirsty Thursday and they're thirsty for more. What's up, everybody? I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess of Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer and teacher and shaman and seer and oracle and light worker and a starseed. Hey, did you guys watch that movie, Cocoon? Oh, shit. Welcome back, starseeds. Your earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your spiritual psychoanalyst and messenger of God, the first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you had to catch what I posted on my community page, my latest live video. Actually, it's been live all the way live, all day long. All night long. All night.
He eggs cars too.
And no, you can get in trouble for that one. I think if you use fruits and vegetables, it's okay. No proteins. No proteins. Seriously? Yeah, she's watching this guy. He says, I was like, that's a sport I'd like to partake in. He sits there with a speedometer or whatever that thing is, and he catches cars that are going too fast in the school zone, and he throws fucking fruit and vegetables. But then she's like, he throws eggs. I was like, no proteins. Really? Yeah. We had a picture of him. We had a video of him doing tomatoes and lettuce. There was something else. I can't remember. Alright, anyways, the live videos were fun. Posted something really cute in my shorts. That was really awesome. Welcome back to life. We're going through a rebirth, which was the Judgment card. And there's a lot to the rebirth. We're trying to get you to remember what you've forgotten during this time. You're being awoken either way, so that's a rebirth, I suppose. The awakening is a rebirth. For most of it. Like, I mean, you're coming back to God. Is that what that is? The coming to God moment. Alright, let's come together. Come together. Drop the beat, Beatles. Hey, every time I get near this, and that's what it's out here for. But I have to actually accidentally touch it from Don't start. He's out here. When did we stop? Alright, anyways. I brought out the sacral chakra bell, and ever since I started ringing that bell, I've activated my sexual sacral energy and is sending out one hell of a signal. I sat back in reflection. I was like, you do realize what kind of signals you sent out today, right? I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm calling in sex, whether I'm realizing it or not. I thought it was all in this whole, claim your whole fucking sexuality thing on my own as the Lilith. But then I looked over and I thought about Marshall and Lewis and Allie, and I can't even tell you who else is in the collective, but like those three plus me. Three wise men, right? What are we talking about? These guys get no love, like I don't get no love. I think all of us are probably going near a decade. For real? Yeah, other than my blackout situation that happened 3 years ago, that doesn't count. Does it count? No, it just... What do you guys think? Do you think this counts? I think it counts as trauma. I mean, what good came from that? Come on. Really? Yeah. That's why I said, something about sex traumatized all of us. There's something about the whole sex thing. We don't have sex. We find it to be traumatizing in some way, shape, or form. That's why we don't have sex. Something related to sex does not allow us to have sex. Why? Because we're not sexual beings, and that's obviously unhealthy. Because you're supposed to be sexual. It's supposed to be a healthy expression. You're supposed to express yourself in your, primordial ways. So, in the process of elimination and the fact that we have eliminated ourselves from the sexual pool, the sex pool, I would venture to say that we're all fucked up. So, this energy, I started with a whole teaching about self-control for the over-sexual natured people that are out there, because this energy is over-sexual. And for us that have not faced the fears of, you know, don't make me say it, haven't got further than the tip. I'm gonna choke on my M&Ms. Oh my god! I didn't even realize it. I didn't even realize the punchline. Till after I said it, you're eating M&Ms. Only in my dreams. Just kidding. You're setting me up, bro. It's a setup. Really? So tomorrow's Friday, then we don't have to worry about Russ. He's over there slapping cheeks in his karma. He's gonna drop some dirty song about his dirty sexual behaviors, because he's giving into this fucking energy like he always does. He is the devil energy. So-called. Whatever. He's powerless. Don't you see? When this is all over, you will fully understand that they lied to you. Who? Everyone you ever met. But you forgive them because they knew not what they did. They believed the lie themselves. For real? It's a bunch of lies. They're lying to you. The devil is a lie. I'm gonna choke. Oh man. Anyways, tomorrow's Friday, which brings the towers, and I'd like to know what kind of devil I'm gonna wake up with in the morning in bed with me. I think at this particular time I've called in all forms of darkness upon my life. So I want to know which devil I'll be sleeping with this weekend. Or cutting off, because that's usually what the whole tower is. Leave that's no longer serving you. This could be great. This is an opportunity to stop patterning. You know what I realized? I haven't shared with you. Let me share something with you. He set me up. This is a whole setup from the very beginning. When the Holy Spirit told me to send that message, it's a fucking freak show. Got in fucking freaky ass energy. And then it arose a part of me that had been, you know, obviously the shadow. Anyways, so we're like, oh, well, let's let this motherfucker out to play and see what this shadow is, right? What's behind doorknob? No, that's not what they said. They were like, you know, you should go talk to him. This is going to be good for your healing. It's going to be intense, but this will be good for you. All right, cool. It wasn't until after I sent the message, they were like, oh, yeah, by the way, don't forget, you slept with him, and he loves you. Oh, man. And he had a girlfriend at the time. Oh, man, I've done this before. Oh, yeah. This is not your first time playing this role. Oh, man. So I had a tower already first thing this morning. I alchemized that one pretty good, I think. But they're becoming towers by the hours. And I was like, wait. And so then I pull out the cards and they're like, there's a sexual energy and sex, and I want to sex you up and it's time to have sex. And I was like, oh, shit. But not with this guy. I wasn't even thinking, bro. No. I wasn't even, I'm like, no, I'm not the new guy. And then wait, hold on. And then I was like, wait a minute. There's a lot going on right here. Go with the flow. All right. We're manifesting sex with a new person. And before I said it, I had said it enough times that I had already spoke it. It's like, don't say their name 3 times. I think I said it too many times in that video. I don't want to go back. We've got to go forward. That's my motto. Don't look back. If it's anything important, we'll circle back to it and have to heal it again later. That's my motto. I don't like to look backwards. Just look forwards. Anything from the back is going to haunt you. In that sense, don't go back, but you have to look back and like don't. You know why? Do you know why you have to do this? Because no matter what, your past is always going to haunt you. So that's why you have to face it. Boom, boom. So there's that. So then tomorrow is like a dangerous day. What's the fucking date on this bitch? 13. That makes sense. Alright, so I wanted to fucking pull the cards and see what kind of fucking madness I've called into my life. It's always something though, right? You don't have trauma, you have tragedy every day of your life. I mean, really though. Stick around for the next episode. I'm trying not to get traumatized anymore. But in essence, everything is traumatized to the traumatized mind. Like, oh, that was such a heavy experience. I wasn't mentally ready for that. Alright, I'm being guided to these specifically. I don't know, it can't be as bad as last. Oh, it is. The fives. If you think about it, and that's what I said to Diana before I came out. All aces are new beginnings. All princesses are new beginnings. The death card is new beginnings. The world card is new beginnings. The tower card is new beginnings. Really? Yeah. All of those new beginnings, right? There's so many of the cards that are about new stuff. Which cards are cards you really don't want? The fives and the sevens. Show me your fives and your sevens. That's not a good hand. Why? Because they all suck. Really? Yeah, you don't want no fives or no sevens. I mean, the seven is a reap what you sow. So if you're ready for something and you've been waiting for something to grow, then the seven of coins isn't that bad. The seven of swords is suck ass. They're fucking lying and fucking deceiving you. The seven of wands is you need to protect your motherfucking self and put your boundaries up and shit because the shit is fucking popping off. The seven of fucking cups is illusions and confusions and bullshit all around you. It's the fucking devil cards. Realistically, the devil card itself is just facing your inner part of yourself, probably by temptation on the outside, which is repeating a pattern. Really? Yeah. I've been reading tarot. This will be like 3 years. I see them as ascension. Not people. They see them as people. Characteristics of people. I see them as pathways. Just as it was supposed to be. Pathways to ascension. Right? So where are we at? The Five of Pentacles? What's that? The fives suck too. The Five of Pentacles is fucking loss. Or scarcity. Right? The Five of fucking cups is also loss. That's like emotional loss. You're going through heartbreak or something. Something didn't work out. They're all the same. Lost your job, lost your lover, things are falling apart type shit. Five of Swords is fucking fighting or mental anguish. The Five of Wands is fighting people around, all kinds of disputes and shit. Oh, then there's you, Wolfman. Did you purposely do it, or did the Holy Spirit set you up too? I'm all forgiving, but you're an idiot. I made a whole video earlier addressing him in particular about the fucking whole principles of alchemy and how it works. Then he comes behind me and drops a video like 30 minutes later about the principles of alchemy and how it works. I just want to point out, do you know how many edits were in that video? How many times you could see it chopped and chopped and chopped? Because he'd just be fucking ranting and raving. You're so similar to Russ in that sense. Boastful, arrogant, loud, obnoxious. You should work on that. Comes off cocky. I don't know who buys into this. I guess the ignorant. I was gonna blow fucking fire all in your face because you don't know what true fire is or how to harness it. But then Kobe came in and was like, calm the fires, bro. I was like, alright, calm the fires. So I didn't do what I always do and tell you what you really are, but you're a douchebag. And now you're not the first person to fucking challenge me. And you know nothing about what the fucking true power of alchemy is. You can study it all your fucking life. And you're not even a whole coven. You could fucking find 50 of you little motherfuckers and you still couldn't fucking take me on. Douchebag. Douchebag. I'm trying to find... Oh, we're back in the stars. I guess so. Alright. Where's... Sorry. I have lots of cards, and so, therefore, that's the answer. Did I really just put all those away? No. I need the guidebook. There we go. So the Five of Pentacles is looking not so good. Really? Yeah. Does that look great to you? 10, 6, no, 5. In a world ruled by machines, living inhabitants feel lost, abandoned, alone. The vice grips tightly, and we ache for assistance and support. Our pleas are met by mocking laughter. Keywords: failure, loss, lack of help or resources. I told you. It's a shit-ass card. Is that where your guys' energy is? What's the opposite of that? We talked about this. I remember talking about failure. There's no failures or loss. We talked about it in the wisdom oracles, in the regeneration. It's all how you view it. A lack of help or resources. That's a lack of independence. You have resources, and God is beyond resourceful. Ask, and so shall it be given. You have to believe. Instead of believing in people, you have to believe in God. And it's a hard lesson to learn, because when you learn, to learn that you can't rely on people and you have to rely on yourself. Self-reliance is part of the first stage of the dark night of the soul, which is ruled by me, Kali, the goddess of destruction, which is probably what's going on in your lives with all of this. Ooh, look at the next card. You, don't look. Don't look. Really? Yeah, don't look. That's what's going on. So we started with the first level, which was Gaia. Let's talk about it. I know where to go from here. Where am I supposed to go? I know where we're supposed to go from here. You have to learn, like I did, self-sufficiency. It's not even, it's completely on track. That's not on track, but we're going to get a little off track here. It's not. I'm just telling you where all the energy is and pulling it from all different areas. I was telling Diana, she said she got here October 23rd of last year. I was like, well, I got back, it was like a week or two before Halloween, because we were out there. I was like, no way did I make it home for Halloween. It was weird because I had left right before October. The hunt, it was like the end of September, and all of a sudden I was back into 2 weeks, but a couple weeks, but I don't know, bro. Maybe it wasn't the end of September. I don't know when it was, but because we went through Arizona, and I feel like we stayed there weeks. At least a few weeks, like 4. Really? I feel like we did. And then I spent a week in Nevada, and then I came home, and it was like a week or 2 before October. And I was just talking about it. I was like, I learned how to be very self-reliant. I learned how to lean on God more than anything. And, I learned in life, I did a lot of things I never did before. It was initiation of faith. You know what I mean? I put my hands, I put my life and my kid's life and my dog's life in God's hands, and I trusted him. And it wasn't as bad as I thought. You know what I mean? It wasn't. We were always provided for. He always had a plan. You know what I mean? In the beginning, when the weather was still cool, when I first got here, I would wake up in the morning and go get work. And I would take the kids with me. You would go through the motions in the morning, waiting for myself to get a job. You have to sign up at like fucking 5 in the morning. They didn't give you work till like 7. So during that time, we go through the motions of getting up and brushing our teeth, and everybody going to the bathroom and having breakfast and da-da-da-da, packing lunches for the day, walking the dog. And I'd go to job sites, and I'd close up the car, and the kids, they'd be on their fucking phones like kids are, and they'd just sit there. And then during smoke breaks and lunch breaks, I'd get in the car. We'd go to the local, stations and stuff. They were always near restrooms. And I'd do that. And then, in the evenings, we'd go and shower. And then we'd have dinner. And then we'd pack up the car. And I would do that the next day. And we'd do that. Depending, I did stuff like that. I did all kinds of different things. But as soon as it started to snow, I was in hotels. It wasn't long. And they would extend it. God was really cool about it. I was afraid of the snow, but the snow became my best friend. The snow kept me out of my car. So anytime it snowed, we was chilling, and it was a very snowy fucking It was a very snowy season, so we spent the whole season in hotels. Only when it became spring did we come back into the car, and we were only in the car for a little bit. I gave up my Lyft car, and we were only in the car for a couple weeks, and then I got my taxes. And right before I was about to buy a trailer and go do a camp worker position here in Colorado with the trailer, he was going to help me take the trailer down, and I'd have a job in the trailer there, free hookup and shit, and I'd get a little paycheck, and we would start life from there. And then all of a sudden they called me here, and it rerouted me. And when I got here, you know, God just kept me here. And he had said he would keep me here until fucking the school year. He promised me a school year. He didn't say where I would be. He told me that in the beginning when I started, like, you know, this is a lot. I just need to chill. Because it was a lot. We did a lot of traveling, and I just wanted some stability. I needed some breath. I needed to just chill. I needed to know that I was safe for a while. Like, I didn't have to worry about shit for a while. And even when I moved in here, I didn't feel safe for, like, months. Really? Every week I was stressing if I was doing enough, if it was, because it's supposed to be you meet with them every week and they extend it week by week, but that's what they tell you and all this shit. And that's what it is. When you sit down and they give you these whole fucking things, you think these are the rules and you have to stick to the rules, or, you know, they're going to throw you out because you see all these people getting thrown out. But anyway, so with that, I didn't feel safe for a long time till I realized I was doing what was asked of me. They weren't asking for more. It was just people weren't doing what they were supposed to and breaking bullshit ass rules. And I was like, oh, okay. So with that being said, and then I also saw, you know, even though I talked to my worker this week, and she said that the new owner should be coming in within a couple of weeks to introduce themselves. So they've already got a backup plan, a contingent plan for whatever the new system is going to look like. And that's cool. So I was worried about that. It's like everybody was worried about that. And so I don't really worry about shit because God has shown me to just lean on him and trust him through all things. And even though he sets me up for shit, that's what it says in the Bible. It's like he'll bring you to it, but he'll also walk you through it. It's like, oh man, why'd you make me do this? I can look at all kinds of times that I have said just that sentence alone. Why'd you make me do this? Don't make me say that. What was I getting? Oh, the Bible. Not my Bible. Where are you? How can I tell? It's the roughest, toughest book in the thing. You need a picture of Baba Yaga, I suppose. Some kind of imagery. Again, she made the cards to go with it, and we always pull them on a Friday. And it's about midnight. Why aren't your kids asleep? I don't know. They don't want to go to sleep. I usually make them go to sleep at 11:30, but they don't actually go to sleep at 11:30. I go to sleep at 11:30. They'll go to sleep about 12:30. They're still cool, though. They're not the type that are all foggy and weird in the morning. My daughter isn't, you know, all of that usually. Not anymore. Just calmed her nerves. Calm your shit. Alright, let me find you the picture of Baba Yaga. It's a stage. And I can't read you the whole stage, but I'm going to give you the just of it, the justice of it, the judgment of it. Naive, Fortuna, Baba Yaga. Thank you for making this not so easy. Loss. Told you. And that's what I was like, 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're in Baba Yaga. Loss. The question is it being stripped of you, or are you just letting go? The Tower is that no matter how many times you look at it. Are you letting it go, or are you being stripped of it? The surrender brings all of the joy, all the peace of it. If you can't accept it and surrender to it, which is the change, then you have no peace. You're not the only person losing your job, your relationship, your parents, your dogs, your way of life, your savings, your career. God called for change of all things, on all levels. This is just the beginning. It's the awakening. It's the beginning of the end. Really? Yeah. How long does this last? Do you really want to know? 35 years. I'm here for 55. So 35 of those years are going to be some fucking fun ones. That was condescending, because there's 25 years of awesomeness. After that, it's good. It's going to take 35 years of darkness. And that's what we're like. Those are the wonder years, are what we're here for. Really? Yeah. But it will be, there is a bright future ahead of us. There's some dark days, bro. There's some dark days. But we've already been through them. We've already seen, you know what I mean? Unbelievable things. It's not that we're getting hardened to them, but we'll have more acceptance and more peace, while other people will have more madness, I suppose. Let me talk about this. Oh, I went to hell. Oh, right where we are. Baba Yaga. Nurturing. Okay, let me start with the beginning. Initiation of self-sufficiency. Right? This is where you got to start over. It's the goddess Kali. Alright? So she's, symbols that represent her are the witch's broom, which you can see that up to the right over there, a corn sieve, rye, wreaths of wheat, wildflowers, a motar, and a pestle. I have one of those and you've seen it. It's underneath the altar. Alright, the themes are harvest, which is a reap what you sow, rest, providence, cycles, regeneration. Where are we at? A rebirth. What card did I pull last night? Regeneration. Colors are red for Aries, white, and black. Okay? Crystals, bloodstone, garnet, tourmaline, smoky quartz. I found my smoky quartz in my purse. There's some other ones down there too. Alright, herbs, patchouli, sandalwood, geranium. I told you, men, about the sandalwood. My sandalwood is in my, I don't know, they were like the cozy fire. I'm almost out of them. I'm gonna go buy some more. I gotta go to Walmart again tomorrow. The cozy fire, Epsom salts. The phase is the waning and the dark. The season is autumn and winter. Got it? The tree is the birch. And what's the whole deal with Baba Yaga? She's the witch in the woods that'll eat you up. But if you can pass her test, then she can be helpful. So emotional development happens right now. As you look at the natural world, the signs of life, death, and rebirth are all around you. The cycles of days and nights, and the waxing and the waning of the moon and sun, the turning of the seasons, and the wheel of the year reflect in your life. Within the darkness that Baba Yaga brings comes an opportunity to return to the earth, to gestate, regroup, prepare, to rebirth in the form of unexpected change that she now offers you. The change can be anything from large life ones such as worldwide pandemic and challenges it brings to smaller but potentially equally challenging, such as a job loss, relationship breakups, moving house, or medical diagnosis. With every change Baba Yaga brings comes renewal and new opportunity. And that's for you guys that don't understand how I could be so calm in the storms. Bro, these are stages that I had to relive and go through real deep and dark. This woman wrote a book about stages of her life, and she talked about meeting these goddesses. She said she has these, where she met them on the outside, or like probably how I meet with the deities. These are their deities. When I did this, it was like reading the never-ending story, because at this time this was really fucking happening to me. I was losing fucking everything. Everyone around me, my career, my clothes, I lost my house, every fucking thing, bro. We started reading the book in my house, which was grounding. And the next chapter was Baba Yaga, and I lost it all. Everything. These are stages. The next stage was what? I believe it was fucking Famanach. I'm scared to look. Then it was all this envy and jealousy, triggers, fucking insecurities and fucking childhood wounds. You know what I mean? All of that shit came up to the fucking surface. As I'm traveling, trying to figure out how to feed my kids and where I'm gonna live and how I'm gonna get a job. I'm still trying to control the outside world while my whole inside world is crashing. It's real life shit. As I'm reading this, it's really happening. I kept saying, dude, this fucking book ruined my life. And I had to keep reading because I had to find out if it's gonna be okay because it just kept going. It was like a page turner. But we couldn't just read the book. I get stuck in it and all this trauma and all these trials, and then I just like the cards, we'd go back and be like, all right, where were we? Oh my God, don't change the page. The worst one was Fortuna. To me, fate, letting fate be fate and not taking responsibility, but just letting things happen, understanding that things just come and go. That's a hard lesson. And then Sheila Nagig. Sexual. All your sexual traumas. How she was there when you gave your body away for love. That's a hard thing for a person like me who just kept letting it happen. Those are harsh fucking stages. Dude, this shit right here is the dark Bible. It's the devil's fucking... In the essence, not. It's really just... It's facing you, and why it has a dark goddess name is because it's a dark goddess fucking lesson in your life. Which is what? Your fucking, your feelings. Your mind and your emotion. Really? This was my first ascension, was through this book. And I had my first cards. I learned tarot with the first cards. I had a couple oracles that along the way, each time I was getting close to finishing something, we got something new. Really? Yeah, along the way. We started accumulating stuff. So now I have a whole table full of shit. Underneath, there's all this stuff. I have what I call Pandora's box, which is just all of the books. In the other box, I have all of my herbs. Right next to that, or right on top of that, I have all of my divination tools. Now I currently have my altar bag up here. The only thing I have in my car is what I do at enormous ceremonies and my herbs, special ones, really, and a special mix that I regular burn on my car, and some waters and stuff. More magical tools. That's what's in there. Very powerful magical tools, if anything. So in essence, yeah, I started collecting, and it all started with a little bit of shit. Really? And that's all I teach. Every deck, I teach you the ascension of this deck. Every book, I teach you the soul ascension of this book. I teach you the ascension. This was my first one. This is hard for you guys, but it happens. It's called a tower, like I said. Job loss, relationship breakups, moving out of a house, or medical diagnosis. As she bestows her unwanted gift of change or loss upon you, she will not feed, nurture, or protect you, nor will she speak words of kindness as you might expect. Instead, her mission is to destroy any ignorance and denial that prevents the death of anything that holds you back from moving forward towards your destiny. That's Callie. It's like, no, all of this has to go. It's like you walk up into my freaking kingdom, and I'm like, everything about you must go. You must give up all of this to be here in this temple. And that's exactly how I come off at you. And Bobby said that. Why does somebody have to give up their life for you to feel loved? You have to give up your life to feel loved. Projection. I gave up my life and I found love. And you shall have to do the same. Sacrifice the flesh for your spirit to be free. New beginnings cannot be birthed without the death of the old, so Baba Yaga brings you the promise of new life hidden through sudden changes or loss. She prepares you for the next round, for like a plant that must wither and die in the autumn, and in order for it to grow again in the spring, you must die to the old and outdated part of you that is not helpful in your growth in order to be reborn in the best version of yourself. What time? What was that? The autumn? Autumn what? Equinox, probably? You must die and be reborn in the spring. I told you this is a long stage of fucked upness. Baba Yaga wants you to develop your own power and self-sufficiency. So to seek Baba Yaga is to seek a death of some part of you. She will destroy that which no longer serves you. Your highest purpose can create space for better change and allow something fresh and new to flourish. I lost everything. Knowingly, though, I knew it was going to happen, but even though you know, you're not prepared. I didn't prepare for it. I didn't prepare for it. People thought, why didn't you pack? You knew you were getting kicked out eventually. It never crossed my mind. Really? I don't live in my mind. It never crossed my mind. They did that. I was completely unprepared. But I was blessed. That was the crazy miracle, bro. That's what was crazy. So they come in and they wipe out my house while I'm doing fucking spiritual shit. Seriously? I know exactly what I was doing when it happened. I was on my way to a thrift store to get I was guided. There's a particular notebook that I need so that I could channel. It's called Auto Write for Pac. At that time, we weren't close enough. I was trying to write his messages. He could channel his messages through pen and paper for me. I was going to do that, and I got the call from the sheriffs that they were at my house. And then they were coming, they were serving the eviction right now, and they're going to lock up the house. And since no one's here, they're going to take the kids and the dog, and I can pick them up at the sheriff's department. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And I get to the house, they've already taken the kids, because I'm not that far. They already took them. And I'm panicking, they won't let me in. And all I'm screaming for is, I need that stuff, I need the spiritual stuff, I need that stuff. You don't understand, I need that stuff. And he's like, calm down. I'm a pagan. At that time, I had no idea what the fuck he was saying to me. I didn't know what a pagan was. All of that was pagan, but I didn't know that. And he said, it's going to be okay. I went and got my kids. They held me for like an hour and a half, bro, questioning me. They thought I was a bad mother, and where was I when all this was happening, and how come I wasn't packed and ready to be moved out, and blah, 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 blah. And where was I going to take my kids after that? So I had to set up an out, So, I call Mr. Plum, and he's like, yeah, she can bring them here and everything will be okay. So they released my kids and my dog to me. I get back. The tweakers have been in all my shit for hours. I'm crying so badly, dude. It's starting to snow. It's dark. And I'm yelling at the people to get out of my shit. And I'm crying and I'm trying to sort through these bags. And I can't think straight. And they're just packed up. All of my life is what's left in these bags. And I'm looking at it and I'm trying to grab what I can. In the middle of doing it, I lose my keys. Yeah? Oh, yeah. So then I get the car going and they're freezing. Everybody's freezing. So I go to turn on the car and I can't find the keys. So now I'm panicking again. My enemy of all time sees this whole thing go down and she calls for a locksmith and gets a locksmith and actually gives me some money and we get on the road. My first inclination is to call the person closest to me, the only person I know, which is my father. And he's a douchebag. How could you let this happen? Are you on fucking drugs? What are you talking about? You can't come stay at my house. I'll get you a fucking hotel. What the fuck have you done? And he just made me feel so horrible and I just couldn't face him. So I followed the plan and I drove to Oklahoma. I got to Oklahoma a whole mess. I didn't know what to even think, dude. And I got my stuff out and I started looking through it. And that was the miracle. I had wardrobes for the whole kids. I had everything that I needed. I had shoes, I had jackets, we had underwear, we had pillows and blankets and towels. We had everything I needed, all of the spiritual stuff I had bought, but everything else was gone. My whole life was gone. I can say it now not crying, but it's still, whoosh, was that a day? And you look at it and people, it's like, damn, how could you be so strong? Bro, I wasn't. It was the worst day, one of the worst days of my life. But it was the most important day of my life. I got kicked out of my nest, bro. My biggest fear was to lose my home. And I did it, sacrificed it. God told me not to pay the bills. He walked me to court. I got an eviction. I knew, but I wasn't ready. He didn't allow me to prepare for it. He wanted to be the blessing, and it was, bro. I tell you, I had everything I needed. But I missed everything I didn't have. I cried about my hats, my jewelry. I cried about the weirdest things, pictures. I don't know, just the fact that I built that city on tears and hard work, and I lost everything. Everything into the, I was mad about my Christmas ornaments. I had the best Christmas tree. He had a name. I can't remember it, but it was a big ol' face. I missed everything. I lost everything. But it happened, and I couldn't even look back because I had to fucking figure out what I was going to do going forward. There was no way to look back, bro. It's all gone. I couldn't even drive back. You know what I mean? In my head, there's no going back. You take a trip that far, it seems like you can't find your way back. No matter how many times you do it. Right? Right. So, it was hard. And then along the way, he kept making me make more sacrifices. I had to keep downsizing the stuff I had in my car, which wasn't much, but all of it was all I ever had. At the end, at the beginning, it was in the hotel. I think it was probably January, February. I've got an air fryer now. We're excited because we're having air fried food now. And I have to make a decision in my trunk space. And my Holy Spirit is telling me to get rid of this take the shit out of this suitcase, and then you'll have room. And it's true because the suitcase isn't filled, but the suitcase was my mom's. And I can't do it. Please don't make me get rid of the suitcase. And I'm crying. And my daughter sees the whole thing. She's such a brave soldier. She's like, Mom, does your mom live in that suitcase? And it was like that quick. I was like, you're right. When I left that suitcase and I drove away, I cried so hard, like Wilson. Like it was the only thing I had left. And it was gone. But it was no longer serving me. It was that simple. But it's like you have these emotional attachments to something. It's like as long as I have this, I have a piece of my mother. No, I always have my mother. It's not in a thing. That's what this stage teaches you, is you're not in these things. These things aren't you. They're not your happiness. They don't own you. You don't own them. That's what this whole stage is about, bro. And you relive it a lot of times when you're asked to let go. The tower, bro, it's a stage. We blow through them pretty fast around here, but you can get it stuck in some real dark ones. And as we enter the dark night of the soul, for those of you that are experiencing your first one, it could be a real big one. I did it all, bro. I lost the house. I gave up the job. In essence, I gave up the house. I gave up all security, and then I lost everything, like fully. But like I told Diana, that's when I started to really live. Me and my family started to get, you know what I mean? It was just me and my kids, my family, and the dog. And it was just us against the world. And it gave me a chance to be that close with my children. We had unbelievable adventures. We did things that other families with money typically do, but we got to do it with no money. We got to travel. We got to have such amazing experiences. It wasn't screaming at each other in the car and crying and I spent a lot of time crying just doing shadow work and shit. But it was a fucking family vacation that just kept going on. They did go to school during, you know what I mean, most of the school year, but then they missed the last one. So the first year they were hitting schools. We were fine there. And that was into the second year. But when we went to start the third year, dude, it was like, nope, fucking false start, all fucked off. And I kept trying to get them back into school, and I was really hating that one. And that's the big fight I had with God and my pride. That one went on till we got here. I kept fighting it, and when I finally gave it up here, I kept trying to get them in school here, and it wouldn't work. Same thing that was happening everywhere for the whole year. And then I surrendered, and then all of a sudden they let them in. So they were able to finish the school year in this district, and then make a couple little connections, and start this school year with a couple of connections. So that's worked out kind of well. But everything, he would ask me to give up everything, dude. I cried real hard about my blanket. I didn't have much, bro. And the stuff I had, I appreciated so much. It meant so much more to me. The little bit of shit I did make it out with. It meant everything to me. And I took good care of it, and I didn't want to part with anything. But little by little, I had to give up shoes. We had too many fucking shoes. We needed fucking, you know what I mean? I only had the car. I only had the car. So I couldn't fit too much shit. What did we do with all the clothes? We put all, my bag fucking trunk was filled with fucking spiritual shit. Took up half my trunk. More than half of my trunk. Maybe if I would have took it out in different ways and packed it differently in different little things, we could have managed more. But I swear to you, I owned more spiritual shit than anything by that time. And I've only gained fucking more since I've been here. That's why I'm like not into that shit, because it literally takes up more than my life. But it is the biggest part of my life. Anyways, so the clothes was actually a convenient thing, because we used the clothes to layer the bottom of to make the bed. I used the fucking clothes and the blankets. So naturally, when the laundry got down, the bed sucked. So it was kind of a forcible thing, right? So we'd take the clothes, and as we used them, we'd put them in the trunk, the open space of the trunk. So it was a crazy thing. I learned a lot. And I had to, we had to rebuild. But it was always just like Job, dude. Believe me, trust me. This is going to be better than you could ever imagine. And it does. It gets better. It doesn't get worse. It gets better. But at the same time, you're always asked to make changes along the way. We have to. All right, now, because you're outgrowing yourself, bro. The things that you needed last week, you're not going to need next week. You needed those things. But you're ever changing. That's why I was like, dude, what kind of fucking freaky butterfly? Yeah, CJ did the same thing. Can I have a drink when you're done? So it's just a fucked up stage. And we're talking about emotional development right now. Baba Yaga is not interested in those who choose to be powerless. Her medicine encourages you to accept difficulty, and that's what I mean. It's better to surrender than to have it ripped out and feel like a victim. I can't walk around and play like I didn't see this coming. I had to take full responsibility. And by full responsibility is, I did this, and why did you do this? In faith, in good faith in God. I was guided to do this. I was guided to walk away from my old life and follow in a pursuit to pursue a new life in God. Initiations of the greatest. Yep. All right. Anyway, so you don't want to act powerless. Her medicine encourages you to accept difficulties and work towards solutions with hard labor and a good sense. And that's it. You're going to have to hard labor, and that's what I did. I took on hard labor jobs, and I was grateful to be there, and I spread good words, and I prayed, and I did, everywhere I went, I did fucking magical works, ritual works, and I, did all of that good shit. She has no time for victims. So although you may feel your circumstances were caused by the actions of others, and look at the people that are losing their houses and their lifestyles to natural disasters. Who are they, victims? They are. There's a victims fund for them, but in essence, them too. It happens on all levels. What? The destruction. I thought it was, when I came to Earth, I thought it was going to be fun and entertaining to watch such things. But as one that feels the experience, and that's what I report back, it doesn't feel good, dude, to watch it. They watch it because they don't feel. We come here to feel what it feels like to be human, to have experiences, and what those experiences feel like. Up there, we do what we're told, and that's what we do. But you go down here with a purpose to be God and play God and have these experiences, these otherworldly experiences here, and report back what it felt like and what you learned. That's that conscious. When you leave here, you take back what? Nothing but your memories. You take back the wisdom, the knowledge, and the feelings, and you put that back into this cosmic soup of the super, what do they call it? The super conscious. And that's where I access it. That's where I live in, right? So all of the information that's ever been poured in, all consciousness, pours through there. All of the knowing, right? It doesn't come from a particular person, but that person obviously lived a life to gain that knowledge and that wisdom. So they had a name and time. But it was just a conscious, it was just part of conscious. A spark of light from the source of light that took form. It's really hard. I can explain it on so many dimensions. Welcome, Starseeds. Just stay with us in the fucking experience. Alright, so you need to reject the victimhood. And that's you feel powerless and unable to solve problems, and you can't cope effectively. You tend to see your problems as catastrophes. You tend to think others are purposely trying to hurt you. You believe you are alone and have been targeted for mistreatment. You hold tightly to the thoughts and feelings related to being a victim. What is this? This is if you have a victim's mentality, right? So one way you can invite her, I don't want to invite her into your life if she's not already there. Preparing for her, that could have been you asking to be more spiritual or magical, a better version of yourself, for a new start or for independence. You could have called her in complaining that your life was dull and boring. What does that mean? I tried to tell you, you manifested this. You called this in. That's what it said in the Family Guy. You asked for this. What is it? A glimpse. A glimpse. Really? Yeah. And that's what happened. What happened to Kanye? I don't know. He was complaining that his life was dull and boring, expressing desires for excitement and adventure. He asked for abundance, financial help, or security. Secretly wished for a new relationship, career, or any life changer. This could have been you. Hope not to lose all that you hold dear. You rely on help and opinions of others, became clingy, or you fall into victimhood. Any of that, dude, on a subconscious level, bro. If you asked for this, you asked for this. You initiated this. Your higher self initiated you into this level of the dark night of the soul. You need to turn to her for change, for improvements in your life, to better yourself, to be in control in all areas of your life, to be self-sufficient, and to make decisions. As I see it, I'm seeing the Karate Kid. It's like Mr. Miyagi. It's like, I'm going to teach you some hard lessons. Get to work. You just got to do what you're told. All right, honoring. Do the following to honor or connect with her. What is this? Making amends. If there is a deity, a spirit working in your life right now, you want to make offerings and peace offerings to this and try to get on their good side is usually how that works. Really? Yeah. Jesus was the one offering, but you can't just offer Jesus to Baba Yaga. That's not going to work. And that's what people try to do with me. They try to offer my soul. You can't. What? We're not. Are you fucking stupid? Make a wreath of corn and hang it on your front door for providence and prosperity. Feast on rye bread or bagels. Make your own homemade wheat bread. Have a multigrain cereal or toast for breakfast. I told you I was having that fucking. What were we having? Honey bunches of oats with strawberries, but I added bananas. Yeah, it was good. Give thanks for Baba Yaga for harvest for your food. I told you I sat down yesterday and I was grateful for my food and I did all this, giving thanks. Carry a few grains with you to ensure you're always provided for. I have all that in my car. I carry all that. Hang on a dry cob of corn to ensure a fruitful harvest for the following year. We haven't done that this year. I have to go get some corn. Alright, it's that time again. Decorate your home or place of work with freshly picked wildflowers. Listen to Slavic or Russian folk music. Don't be wasteful, be frugal, and trust Baba Yaga to bring in the harvest. That's it, I'm frugal. Frugal is the word. Make an altar to her and place upon it eggs. I just threw away the egg, didn't I? I really think I did. No, I put it away. Wildflowers and wreaths of wheat. Offerings could be vodka, wheat, bread, decorated eggs, bones and skulls, images of Baba Yaga and her house. Patchouli and sandalwood is what you want to use with her. Bloodstone crystals. I'm not going to teach you all this. Journal work. Write down and answer the following. What is keeping you reliant on others? Why do you stay around? Why do you depend on them? What are you getting out of this relationship with them? Whether it be your job, your parents, or your really intimate relationships. Ew, this is triggering. Where does your... That's what I said. I said the most epic thing earlier. I was like, why would I make you a booty call when you don't even pick up the phone? That was pretty basic. It's like, if you can't even be that basic in my life, then what can you basically be in my life? That's basic. Anyways, where does your lack of confidence stem from? This is good for Aries season. Do you feel the opinion of others count more than your own? Do you care what people think of you more than what you fucking think of you? What steps can you take to trust in your own decisions? How would you feel if you were truly independent, excited, or fearful? And that's it. What would you do if you were in my shoes? People kept casting on this energy of shame and trying to feel guilty because I was in my situation. And I kept saying, what would you do? Do you want to take the wheel? You want to tell me what I'm supposed to do in this situation? Nobody's been in this situation, and if they have, they've got to figure it out every day. Take it day by day, just like me. I just got to figure this out. Day by day, I'm learning. I've never been in any of this. It was a whole bunch of, I've never done this before. And that goes back to my earlier video, teaching you. And that's what it is installing new ways of life. Just when I thought I knew what I was doing, it was time to pack up and find a new way of life. It physically was happening in my life every couple of weeks. I couldn't find any grounding. It's just as soon as I thought I was going to get a job or a house or some kind of stability, I was ripped up again and had to find how to fucking do it all over again in a new land. Don't do what I did the last time. It kept happening. It was long stages of this shit. You know what I mean? List any negative experiences you've endured recently and look at the lessons that were presented in each situation. And that was that failure. What have you learned? What was the outcome? How do you feel about each experience now the lesson has been revealed? And that's really what it is. Have you learned your lesson? There's some banishing negativity rituals. There's a healing ritual. Crystals, which it tells you which ones and why. And that's the end of that stage. What comes next? Emotional triggers. Now you're sensitive, dude. You're very sensitive. When all of this happens, you're really sensitive to everything. You can feel the judgment of others. You feel their expectations to productivity. You're really just in a place of shock. And everything is breathing on you to, you know what I mean, to fix your life. And you don't even know what you're supposed to do. And so this is where the triggers come in, which is the initiation of emotional triggers, which means just like that, you feel like everyone's against you because, you know what I mean, the whole world is against you right now. You can't figure it out and nothing seems to work and everybody you turn to has turned their back on you and you just wish the world would just leave you alone so you could just figure out life. And every time you get out there, it reminds you of your old life and it triggers you so bad. Really? Yeah, you're very touchy. You're very touchy. And that's what this is. What is it? Jealousy, envy, obsession, your inner child, guilt, shame, transformation, revenge, storms, scrying. It's your outburst, your control, and your revenge. Wonderful stages, aren't we going through? When does this come out? Autumn and winter. The dark and waning moon phases. Basically Sundays. Yeah, that's a nasty energy to have on a Sunday. Well, what does this have to do with me? I don't know. You have to, again, either let something go for your higher good or accept that it's about to be ripped out of your life for your higher good. There's no other way to turn this. I'm just going to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Because that's what he told me to do in the middle of the night. And while they're having fun on their phones, I'm delivering you a message and they should be asleep. So I'm going to leave it at that. That's what's happening tomorrow. Really? It's the same choice. But this time, if you don't make the choice is going to be made for you. It's a reassuring thing. Because, in essence, it means the universe is going to step in and make sure that this happens. If you don't have the strength, if you just can't do it, the universe is going to fuck this up and make it happen no matter what. Really? Yeah, so maybe you didn't want to address your fucking, your spouse's cheating, and you're about to walk in on it. Like, you're going to have to face it. You're going to have no fucking choice. That's what that means. Really? Mm-hmm. You're going to lose something, but it's something that you've been holding on to for far too long that's been holding you back. I don't like to lose. I'd rather just give it up and accept it as a lesson learned. But it does, you'll feel the grief of the loss, the detachment of what you're about to sacrifice, which is just an old part of you. And I said that to Diana as I was coming up the elevator. I went to Morgan's house, but nobody was there. And it was right when I was standing in front of her, in front of the elevator. I was like, do you think this is just a pattern? She said, what? I was like, it is. She said, what? I was like, Morgan, I do this every month now. This is like the third month where I'll come to you and I'll be like, I wonder why she's not talking to me. And it's always around the first of the month. It was the third month I saw it. I was like, maybe this is the time where I gotta let her go. Because there's, you know what I mean? In essence, Morgan, I'm just saying patterns. It's like, all right, this is no longer serving me. There's, I can hold on to it, but it's me doing extra until it gets to a point where I have to see that it's, how far does this have to get before you let go? Sometimes we let it go too far, bro. And as I say that, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, how far does this go before you let go? When do you let go? The art of detachment is the biggest part of this. It really is. In order for you to go through a transformation and a rebirth, you have to go through the death. In order to have a new beginning, there has to be an ending. And we do this every week. For all of you that are new, catch on, because just as much as we're being asked this Friday, we'll be asked again next Friday to look at a different area of our life that we need to let go. If you haven't noticed, it's usually highlighted around fucking relationships. Why? Parasitical, I suppose. Too dependent on other people. Unhealthy relationships that are replaying out in our lives. It's always the highlight. I've noticed it. I mean, it's stuff in your real world, but it seems to be, the people you're keeping, the company you keep. And even for me, that doesn't have any, I keep attracting the same type of company. And that's exactly what it said in the plating book as well. They cut you off from unhealthy people. Life circumstances pull you guys away on purpose. They get a job across town, and now all of a sudden they have to leave. It's going to be a terrible goodbye, but it needs to happen. Why? Because you're about to meet the love of your life. Really? Stuff like that? That's fate. It's supposed to happen. You can't have a new beginning without an ending. That's how all chapters in a book has. The book has chapters. We end this chapter to start a new one. But if not, you're like Russ. You're like my poor twin flames. It's really quite, I was going to say pitiful. They just keep trying to have the same old experience and falling short of that experience, so they keep trying. They're the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. That's why we look back and we try to realize it. We catch that we're doing the same thing over and over. That's called pattern recognition. And we stop it. No matter what it is, we realize we're just patterning. We're just doing what we always did. Let's try something new. As painful as it is, we can free up our time, we can free up our energy, we can free up our finances, we can free up our thoughts. If we just let this go. You lose a lot, but in that, you have time to experience something new. There's always something new. If I have space for a new friend, then there's space for a new friend. If I have space for a new job, then there's a new job. That's what it is I'm always creating space for new adventures. There's adventures in space and time. Right now, what are we doing? We're really cocooning for those of us that have already done it. And I feel like, I might have to cut someone out of my life tomorrow. I feel like it's always the same meat I gotta cut. Fucking foreskin of the fucking bullshit. Keep it kosher. Punchlines are so good at the end, aren't they? It's like you stay for the punchlines, right? All in the guts with the lines. That's what Russ is looking for too. Fucking thief. Anyways, yeah. I wish for you again. I'm far beyond the belief. I try to believe that the collective are all behind me. Yeah, guys, we're breaking up this weekend. We're doing it. We're starting a revolution. I'm quitting this bitch ass job. I feel like I always want to believe that I have empowered you this week and I inspired you. Then I get to Monday and I realize everybody's still going to work and living their stupid ass life. I was like, well, I'll try harder next week. I know I made a change for once in my life. I do it every week. I mean, making changes, bro. I see no changes. That's how we see it from here, but not me. And it's okay if you're not me. I write the book on how to, set yourself free. And that would be Joe Bart. He's got an attitude. I like when he gets riled up. It's like, yeah. He pours a lot of energy into his videos. Most YouTubers do, don't they? Hey, I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow for our fucking Towers by the Hours. Laters, haters.